Did you know that financial problems are estimated to contribute to 20 to 40% of all divorces in the United States, with roughly 41% of Gen Xers citing financial disagreements as their reason for marriages ending? According to data published by the Jimenez Law Firm, an Odessa-based law firm in 2024, money is consistently one of the leading drivers of marital breakdown in America. With over half of all divorces citing irreconcilable differences as the cause, the underlying factual reality is that financial instability creates physiological conditions that can make reconciliation impossible. As a finance student myself, pursuing a career in social work, I have a unique perspective on the intersection of money and relationships. I will explain the relationship between financial stress and marital dissolution through the lenses of physiological stress, behavioral communication breakdown, and long-term socioeconomic data. When the body experiences physiological or psychological stress, it triggers the fight or flight response, which affects the body physically, hormonally, and over the long term can lower immune function and create mental health disorders. According to a National Health Interview survey of the adult population, the analysis revealed that higher financial worries were significantly associated with higher physiological stress. Economic hardship, whether measured through income, poverty, or specific hardship experiences, such as food or housing insecurity, has robust associations with marital distress across multiple indicators in a study conducted in 2010 from Conger, and Martin. I personally can attest to how this stress affects a person. A year ago, I lost my stable job. At the time, I had a healthy savings, stable income, and was prioritizing my health, my family, and my relationship. It has personally been the most stressful and strained year of my life. When a person is affected so acutely by stress, they truly do have less capacity to show up in the relationship well. That leads us to our next point: how financial instability leads to behavioral communication breakdown. Cognitive and behavioral issues can also arise from the prolonged stress of financial insecurity. Simply put, a person's capacity to show up in a relationship with investment rather than withdrawal, with self-confidence and sound decision-making becomes severely limited. While some critics argue that poor communication skills are the root cause of divorces regardless of income, the family stress model predicts that economic hardships lead to feelings of economic pressure, which undermine interpersonal interactions and emotions within marriages, resulting in increased marital conflict. According to Amato and Rogers, marital conflict, then, is in turn a key predictor of divorce. Within the past year of my own financial struggles, I have experienced firsthand how my lowered capacities, cognitive, behavioral, mental, and emotional, have affected my relationship with my fiancé. The stress has been a heavy burden that we have both had to carry, and when you're in survival mode, conflict comes much more quickly. So then, how are we affected long-term when we experience stress from crippling financial hardship? Research consistently shows that lower income, financial strain, and fewer assets are all linked to lower marriage rates and higher divorce rates. Findings supported by multiple studies, including work by Bromlett and Mosher, Gunmanson and colleagues, and Coulter and Thomas. In 2002, Bromlett and Mosher conducted a study that found that lower household income is a significant predictor of both reduced entry into marriage and higher rates of dissolution, establishing a clear socioeconomic gradient in relationship stability across the United States. When viewed together, these studies reveal a compounding effect: that financial strain not only stresses the marriages in present time, but also shapes whether couples have the long-term resources, such as savings, assets, and stability, to sustain their relational commitment through difficult times. The data does not lie. Financial security and marital stability are deeply entwined. My partner and I have decided to combat this strain in our relationship by focusing on individual wellness, prioritizing my income through a business that we have started together, and recognizing cycles of unhealthy communication to stop it before it begins. Now that we've examined marital conflict through the lenses of physiological and psychological stress, communication breakdown, and long-term effects of financial strain, let's tie it all together. Today we explored 3 interconnected realities: how financial stress through biological processes erodes patience and connection, in addition to communication and cognitive abilities needed to navigate conflict, and long-term socioeconomic data that confirms these effects are systemic, measurable, and predictable. Money does not just simply cause arguments. It reshapes who we are able to be for ourselves and one another. But knowledge is power, and understanding the link between financial instability and relational breakdown allows us not only to extend compassion, but also gain the tools needed to overcome this type of consuming stress as a team. When we recognize that a struggling couple may be fighting the weight of financial survival, we become better neighbors, friends, counselors, and partners. The Beatles got it wrong when they said, "All you need is love." The strongest marriages are built on stability that allows love to thrive. Thank you.